I'm so happy spring has sprung. Happy spring, everybody. Now, I know that you're all anxious to have your questions answered, but before that, let's look at a few things. I wanted to do a reading. First off, on the children at the Mexican border. They just seems like they were starting to look at and resolve the other kids in cages when a whole new wave showed up, and now they're overwhelmed again. So I just want to see in general how the Biden administration is going to handle this crisis, what they're going to do, and how long it's going to take them. So. Boy, there's a lot of upside down cups here. There's a lot of tears, and it looks like there's a lot of obstacles. Plus that, there is no good solution to this. There is nothing that is even remotely humane that they can do. They're really trying, but Biden and Harris, who actually usually they see eye to eye, they don't see eye to eye on this topic as to what to do. And anything they do just isn't fast enough. But in their hearts of hearts, they really want to do the right thing, and they really want to do what's right for these kids. They do care. Again, there's this pouring out of emotions and this uncertainty. It's not just what to do with them. A lot of these kids just don't have relatives here. They don't have any kind of roots, and so there's this, what do we do with these children? And a lot of them don't speak the language, so language is a big barrier. So they're little kids, they're scared, they're strangers in a strange land, and it just, they really are buggered on this. Let's see. Okay, so the solution to this isn't going to be the absolute best, but it is going to be a stopgap. It is going to be to prevent disaster and to kind of look out for these kids. They are going to turn some of them into foster care, and they are going to accept the fact that some of these kids, they'll never be able to reunite with their families. So that's something that they will be looking at next year. This year they're just trying to make sanity of this whole situation. It looks like they will find, not this year, but when we come into like right around Christmas time, New Year's, because there's like a changing in the energies. It looks like there is another country who steps forward to help the U.S. out with all these kids. So the U.S. won't be taking care of all of them. They will be taken to other countries and adopted out. Yes, well, within a year. It will take them a full year, but within a year they will have this whole thing resolved and those kids in some kind of a home. Okay, so another thing I'd like to look at, Senator Whitehouse. That's been in the news this week. Senator Whitehouse has wanted to take a look-see at the FBI's investigation, how they looked into Brett Kavanaugh before Brett Kavanaugh went into the Supreme Court. Because there's some questions about the legitimacy of some of it and whether it was thorough enough and so forth and so on. So we're just going to take a look and see what's going to happen with the Brett Kavanaugh case. I'm not going to put down quite as many cards because it's not quite as complicated of a situation. It's complicated enough, mind you. Okay, so go like this. Gee whiz. So you've got addiction problems here. They're going to find out that he likes beer more than just a little. He likes beer a lot. He's got a real drinking problem. and they didn't research him enough. They didn't look closely enough into his background. He's not only does he have addictive problems, he's got money problems as well, and none of his problems are going away fast enough.
Sweetie, can you hold up the cards? Because there's no overhead camera for any of this.
Oh, I am so sorry. Okay, for Brett Kavanaugh, I know the cards aren't there for the kids at the border, so you're just going to have to take my word for it. These are the operative cards. We have the Devil reversed, and we have Temperance reversed. And that's where I get the really, really serious addiction problems with him that were overlooked. You know, I mean, somebody got... Who says I like beer at the job interview? And then you have the Knight of Coins reversed. And here's where I see money problems. Here's where I see just habitually money being handled in a bad way. And I know that there was something about a loan and some money that he borrowed, and it just kind of, you know, well, it was the down payment on his house. They weren't sure how he got the money for the down payment of the house, but there was a lot of money that he spent that he can't account for. Then when I see things not moving forward, I get the Eight of Wands, which is speed, but it's reversed. And so there's a lot of back and forth. There's a lot of arguing and debating. And one thing that does, though, it kind of evaporates the problem a little bit, because when it's finally resolved, it looks like... I want to take a double look at, because he's going to turn things around. You have the Magician reversed, so he can only turn it around so much, and he really can't do all the magic that he was supposed to be doing when he got in. So what I see here, I think that he's going to go into rehab or something along those lines. But he is going to, just in the nick of time, kind of make a few sacrifices, start doing things well, probably face up to whatever he needs to face up to. But eventually he will turn into, you know, you have the... I keep putting my hands on, I forget that you guys can't see these. With the Hanged Man, that's where I see him doing what he has to do to keep his position. So he's not going to give it up easily. And you've got the Three of Pentacles, and that's positively aspected. So if we were to look ahead, he's actually going to start doing his job well. So there might be some redemption with Mr. Kavanaugh, especially since he seems to come out as the King of Cups. And the King of Cups might not be 100% sober, but he is somebody who is noble, if you will. And his heart's in the right place, and his intentions are in the right place. So I actually see a turnaround happening with Brett Kavanaugh. I think he's going to be lucky, and he's going to realize how lucky he is. And one more thing I wanted to look at before we get to everybody's questions. I know you guys are waiting, but I want to see, and I'm sure you do too, what's going on with the pandemic. Are we going to see an end to it this year? So let's look at this year in COVID. Just do a spread that'll cover the whole year. Okay.
Folks, that clickety-clackety sound is Sally's necklace hitting the microphone.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. Okay. So, I'll put it over like this. So, in general, I actually see a coalition of countries where there's going to be, it's not the WHO, but there's going to be a new coalition of countries that are going to get together to basically, the word joint task force comes through. So I do see a coalition, a pact, if you will, So you have 4 countries, 4 big countries. I think that would be the U.S., Great Britain, maybe Germany, and someone else who's going to kind of come together, and they're going to they're going to keep their heads together, act as a brain trust, and get this thing going faster. We're not going to get everything we wish for. This isn't going to be done by the summer as we wish, but I think it's still headed in a good direction. Even reverse the nine of cups is a good card. Yeah, it looks like we have two more months where we should be social distancing and not traveling as much. So over the next couple of months, you're going to see a lot more restrictions, or the same restrictions in place.
You can move that out of your way if that's in your way.
Oh, there we go. Can they see these?
No, they cannot see those cards.
Okay, sorry. Okay, so these 2 cards, the 2 of Cups and the Chariot, are the ones that tell me that there's still going to be social distancing and there's still going to be travel restrictions for a while. Not too long, but in the now. When I look ahead, I see 2 men. My guess is that one is Fauci and the other one is probably Biden. But these 2 men working together really make the difference. And they do through law and through edict. They are going to bring this to a close, to a good close. So you have the Hierophant. I think this is called the Pope. This particular card is called the Pope. But it talks about society in general, the world in general. And the world in general thinks that the right people are finally at the helm to take care of this. Because I've seen earlier, the card wasn't this confident in government and the medical infrastructure. You also have the Knight of Cups. So that tells me that we still have the anti-vaxxers. We still have those who are vocal against doing the vaccinations, masks, the social distancing, and all that. And you just can't please everybody. Some of the people you see now that are so anti-mask and anti-vaccine are going to stay that way. Got the Page of Coins, and that's basically in the now. That's the next influence coming up, and it shows everybody with money in their pockets, and that lifts everybody's spirit, and it does make things better. It does improve things. It makes a difference. And as the final outcome, you've got the 3 of Swords. So this talks about the aftermath. And in the aftermath, it's not going to be a happy ending because so many people have died. So many people have got sick. So much money has gone down the drain. So many businesses have gone down the drain. Right now we're kind of caught up in fighting this thing as one. But afterwards, and it feels like early next year we're going to be looking back at the damage caused by this. And that's going to be a whole nother thing. And a whole nother reading at times. I know I've got people waiting. Thank you so much.
Well, on with the show.
On with the show.
Hello, everybody. I'm going to get through everybody. As we get through everybody, can you please put those beads someplace that they're not? They're just click, 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 click.
Okay.
Sonia wants to know what her spirit guides are trying to tell her.
Okay, Sonia's spirit guides. Sonia's spirit guides. What are Sonia's spirit guides trying to tell her? Can she see this?
Yes.
Okay. Sonia, the very first message that your guide sends you is a Two of Swords. And the Two of Swords is about truth, it's about negotiation, it's about being able to make peace when you don't actually know all the facts quite yet. Because I really feel like there's a need for an uneasy truth around you. So this week, your spirit guides want you to work hard at getting along with people you don't necessarily, or you find it hard to negotiate with. You know, maybe sometimes it helps to walk a mile in somebody's shoes, you know, when it comes to negotiation and trying to understand them. Now, it does look like you're going through a period of sadness. You know, somebody...
The overhead camera's working again.
Oh, sorry. Okay, so you've got the Two of Cups reversed, and so when you got Cups reversed, you got happiness pouring out, and this is a period of sadness around a relationship. So something's definitely not going your way here, but your guides are kind of saying, suck it up and make peace here. Okay, so try and put your own feelings on hold for a little while. They're also reminding you of the Page of Wands, and we know who the Page of Wands is. He's a young man, he's a fiery man, and he's somebody who needs to be heard. Yeah, we're going to leave it like that. He's somebody that needs to be heard. This is somebody who's a little bit wise beyond his years, and he actually has something to say about the situation in front of you. He's just not saying it. Okay. Thank you for tuning in, Sonia. You're looking lovely as usual. And who's next, please?
Zaneb wants to know how Uzman is feeling about her.
Okay. Uzman. Okay. Whoops. Okay, so the card that fell on the floor was the Page of Cups. So we're going to start with that, the Page of Cups. You know, the Page of Cups is not just a young person. It's also a young situation. He feels like... It feels like he's just noticed something about you. And that's a good thing. Cups talk about love, love things of the heart, the warm and fuzzies. So something has happened to make him feel a little bit, make you him like you a little bit more, have him notice you a little bit more. Okay, so you got his attention. You've got his attention in a positive way. Good time to flirt. Okay, so because I dropped those cards on the floor, I have another deck here. This is the Pamela Coleman Smith deck, the Centennial deck, and we're going to pull out 3 cards to see how Uzman feels about you. So he's taking a real wait-and-see attitude here. You remember I said that he's starting to see you in a better light? But the 5 of Swords reverse tells me that he's seeing your bad side too. And so that's kind of giving him a little bit of pause because he's worried about hurt. But he sees enough, and he sees enough potential in this relationship that he's willing to wait and see. So he's giving you a chance. That's the best I can say for it. Give it a few weeks. Well, actually, it says give it about 9 weeks, which I know seems like a long time, but he's not a trusting person. He's been hurt, and he just needs to be sure about you. Okay, and that's how he feels.
All right. Lisa Love wants to know whether her husband and her are taking over Daddy's business. I don't know who's Daddy, but one of the two.
Oh, I know she worries about that a lot. Let's see if Daddy managed to give a little. Okay. Taking over is a big give. All right, so. Yes. Yes, you've got the Page of Cups, dead center. That's a big yes. Negatively aspect, there's worry about the money aspect of it. Perhaps your husband knows the business but doesn't know the books as well as he should. So he needs a little help with the finances. I hope you can help him right there. But it also says positively aspected. It's not time to pop the champagne right now. It's time to get busy. But yes, he is taking it over. And yes, there's a lot to do. And yes, he probably needs your help. Good luck to you, Lisa. Thank you for tuning in.
Okay, well, let me get back to the chat over here. Virgo Queen is here. She's having dreams about her twin boys.
Oh, Virgo Queen.
She forgot when she's going to get pregnant. She wants to know when. You told her when, she forgot.
Oh, well, I thought you were going to get her pregnant first time out because it happens fast.
It's only been a month.
Yeah, it happens fast, girl. But I'm going to throw some cards. The Virgo Queen and getting pregnant. Isn't the practice fun? I'm laughing because you've got a 9 here and you've got a 9 here. The 9 dead center, that's kind of a stillness, and it says just wait, just wait. So it's coming. It's coming. And that 9, pregnancy is 9 months, positively aspected. You've got the 9 of Cups, so get what you want. But it's kind of turned upside down. I think you are going to have major morning sickness. And it gives a 3 over here. So all these are functions of 3s. So within a 3, which we're in the 3rd month, you are really close. If you're not pregnant already, you will be soon. Just keep practicing. And you'll know it happens because mornings will become so delightful.
Wicked Fairy wants to know whether the Taurus figured out that the love posts are directed at him. And how does he feel about that?
Yeah.
I don't know why Wicked Fairy's playing games.
Well, yeah, she doesn't have to.
Exactly.
You really don't have to. You're devaluing yourself. I'm going to just look at you and your Taurus guy and see what the cards have to say about that.
And while Sally's shuffling, I will tell you that the majority of the time, when you ask a guy out, he will say yes. You could be a toothless meth head, and he'd probably still say yes.
If you're going to ask him out, just ask him if he'll have a cup of coffee with you. Keep it real light.
Oh my God, I got that one in there under the radar.
See, I didn't even call him on it. I just must be in a good mood this week. Okay. He definitely knows they're directed at him. And I have to double down on the producer's advice and what I told you, because it shows him as being the Knight of Pentacles. And the Knight of Pentacles is a Taurus guy. He's slow moving, but it's turned upside down, because Tauruses do not like games. None of the earth signs do. And so he's wondering, well, if she can't tell me this, if we get in a relationship, can she tell me anything? So this says, instead of pussyfooting around, you need to trust your instincts, because you know what your instincts are telling you. Have the courage to give, you've already put the messages out there. You might as well just call him and say, you know what, why don't we sit and have a cup of coffee, because I'd like to talk to you. That would work a lot better with him. Because he knows, he's pretty sure those posts are aimed at him, and he's not exactly happy with it. So just call him.
All right. So that was that.
Yeah, well, who doesn't like a cup of coffee? I'll invite him for a cup of coffee.
I'm putting my hand up here.
Well, but
Tanya would like a reading for the week.
Hi, Tanya. It's nice to see you. Okay, Tanya for the week. And after this, I'm going to pull out the Lenormand. Or maybe I should pull out the runes. What do you think, honey?
Okay.
So, you can deal with whatever life sends you this week. You've got the Three of Hearts here, and you don't even have to be a reader to know it talks about heartbreak. But with the swords, the heartbreak has already happened. This tells me that this week you're just going to be dealing with the aftermath of some hurt. And it's a good time for you to, through meditation, through smudging, through whatever means possible, you let go of that as you go forward in the week. You have the Wheel of Fortune, and even it shows up reversed, but it shows up reversed in a positive direction. The Wheel of Fortune really has no ups or downs, because it's always going around and round and round. So it says that the Wheel of Fortune is turning. I think it's up to you to decide whether you're going to let it turn in your direction. The center card is the Queen of Wands, and that represents you. And the Queen of Wands, she holds the wand. She's the very confident queen. She's a fiery queen. She's the one that takes control. And this Wheel of Fortune right here is saying you need to take charge and reach big. Take advantage of some opportunities that you wouldn't automatically take advantage of. Because things are turning around. You might as well take advantage of the merry-go-round and hop on and take a shot at the brass ring, if you will. I know that's all metaphorical, but you understand that. Looks like a pretty promising week to me.
Excellent, Tanya. Haunting Life wants to know what this week has in store for this week.
What this week has in store for this week? Wow. Oh, I said that I was going to change over. I think I am going to go to the runes. We have a set of runes that I made a few years ago for a class. And, I'd forgotten all about them, and my producer found them. And he said, gee, these would look good on the camera. So I guess they will. Let's see, this week for Haunting Live. All right, so it starts out this is Ingush, you're dealing with family issues this week. But actually, it looks like family is going to be generous. So you're going to be dealing with the generous side of the family. This week is a week for you to be strong and show your stronger side. Usually I don't recommend that you're stubborn, excessively stubborn, but it seems to work for you this week. Oh, okay. So this one right here, you've got torch and you've got ancestor right there, and this tells me that this Wednesday, I know that you do the spiritual messages on Wednesday, so I'm assuming that's when it is. But this tells me that you've got a spirit guide or an ancestor coming through in a very fiery way. So somebody's going to just give you a turbocharged message, which is so cool. I'm a little jealous. Okay. And it's going to be sunny. It's going to be sunny, and you're going to have the time to enjoy the sunshine, to enjoy the weather. So that's a good thing.
The top row is out of frame.
This one?
Yes.
Okay, so this one's sun. That one's telling me that the weather just cooperates with you. The sun shines when you need it to shine. And this right here talks about providing for the needs of the future. So it talks about long-range future plans, and this is a good time for you to start making some long-range future plans. You might have an opportunity to set up an RRSP or a retirement account or something along those lines, because it feels like this is a time where you can cement something for the future. Okay, so this is Othilla, which is homeland, which talks about home, and you also have Jarrah, which is harvest. So this tells me that things become more productive around home, and I know that some of the things that you make for the shop you make on your own at home, and this tells me that you're just going to be really productive at home this week. Ooh, it ends with Fahey. It ends with wheat. So wheat is prosperity. So the week ends with some good news around your job. Whether that's more hours or just more money, period, you've got good news coming job-wise at the end of the week. Okay.
All right, that was for Haunting Live. Little Baddie's up next. Will my father successfully be working with his cousin, and for how long?
Okay.
Wow.
So your father working with his cousin. Okay, so yeah, it feels like about the right size handful. Give it a toss. Well, at first they worked together really well. That shows up right here. They seem to in the beginning, and I think this might continue, but I haven't turned over any of these runes yet. But it starts off on a really, really, really good foot. Still a really good rune there. That's Fahey, which is wheat. So it tells me that the two of them work together, and there's mutual respect there. I like to see it, but they both have this eye on the horizon and moving forward. So things start to happen fast. And when you've got that Fahey there, that's wheat, that's prosperity. That talks about things, that talks about things paying off, basically. My guess is that it won't take them too long to build up a good clientele here. that's the rune of the hunter. They get the things, whatever their goal is, whatever their business plan, it comes to fruition. It seems to go really smoothly. They must have worked together before. Yeah, you've got two working in harmony here. This is Awaz, and Awaz translates to horse, and it talks about a symbiotic relationship, a relationship where one's weakness is the other's strength, and vice versa. So yeah, everything looks good here. Just one caveat, and that's kind of to the side, and that this is thorn, and it talks about things getting out of hand. So I think they're in a highly competitive industry. And even though they're doing really, really well, they need to keep an eye on their competitors, because by doing really, really well, they're stirring up competition. They're stirring up jealousy. So the competition, the other competitors get a little nasty, but that should just tell them they're doing fabulously. Your father and your cousin work together very well. Congratulations to them on their new business.
All right, little ball. Batty. Sorry, I almost went with Baldy there. A little early on that, maybe. Marianne wants to know whether she has love coming soon. And what is soon? Just how soon is now?
Okay, Marianne and love. And after this, I'm going to switch over to the Lenormand. Okay.
Yeah, you've promised that before.
Oh, yeah. So, there's the love. Whoops. Let's see. Oh, okay. So, at the start, and even though it's turned over, you do have Legos, lake, that means love. So, you have the beginnings of love around you. So relax. Something is happening here. There is a warning about not falling into past habits, and this one right here, Tiwaz, talks about honesty. It's associated with the Viking god of justice, but Tyr talks about truth, and it's really, really important for you to be even more honest than you usually are. Not even a little white lie, because somebody's coming into your life that really has no tolerance for little white lies. There are people in the world like that. Okay. You will meet somebody through work over the summer. It's just that simple. You've got Feihu, which talks about things that make you productive and in work, and you've got Suelu, the sun, summer. So you will meet somebody over the summer. Again, be honest, always be honest. Summer's going to be jumbled up. You will meet somebody. It might not feel serious at first, but when you get into late summer, early fall, it almost changes overnight, where it goes from being casual to being grounded and a blessing. That's nice. When it happens, it really happens, and the love that's coming into your life by next winter, by the time the next snow falls, you are on fire. It is hot. It is as hot as Virgo Queen. Okay, so good for you. Just be pleasant. Know you'll meet somebody through work, and know how important it is to be honest.
Amanda would like to know what her spirit guides are trying to tell her.
Okay, I did say I was going to go over to the Lenormand.
Try this, Amanda. Fog up the bathroom mirror and turn around a few times and see if there's any messages in it. It works in the movies.
That's one. Spirit guide messages. Spirit guide messages for Amanda. So, I'm going to do 3 top, 3 bottom. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so your spirit guides are telling me that obstacles to love will be obstacles to love and happiness through love are going to be are going to fall by the wayside. So they're going to melt away with the snow. Because I see you, this bouquet is sometimes considered a surprise. And it's right next to the Queen of Spades, which I see as you. It's because you're the queen that's been tried a little bit. But this says obstacles open up. So whatever's been blocking you goes away, opens up. Also, it looks like you got some negotiations coming up on a new house or a home, because that's there too. You are going to get a message, and I'm not sure that you should trust this message. This is maybe it's a little piece of gossip or a little piece of gratuitous information, but it's from another woman, and I just have my doubts about this person's sincerity and this person's motive for telling you little bits of gossip, because she shows up as a snake. But no, overall, in the area of love, that's breaking free, and this is a good time for you to get into negotiations for a house. Thank you for tuning in, Amanda. It's good to see you every week.
Well, that's quite the message.
Yes.
Suzanne would like to know what the next 4 weeks have in store for her.
Wow.
A whole 28 days.
Oh, dear. That's a whole February. Okay. Next 28 days for Suzanne. Interesting. You have to be careful not to get too caught up in little annoyances. Yeah, there's a sobriety prayer, which I'm not saying that you need that, but the idea of accepting the things. Let's see, changing the things you can and accepting the things that you can't, and knowing the difference. For you, it feels like you're getting caught up in little details, and you're forgetting to address the big issues. This is a good time for you to settle down, to meditate a little, make sure that you keep your blood pressure down, and if you have a ranty kind of emotional message that you want to get out there, sit down, write it out, and keep editing it until it's in the form of a haiku. Because if you take any situation and reduce it to haiku, you remove all the emotions and all the personal stuff, and it really gets down to the essence of what's really bothering you, what really needs to be fixed. And I don't think this is a good time for you to get too caught up in details. So definitely remember the little trick with the haiku. Also, a message that you've been waiting for is coming through. There is something coming up about money as well. And it feels like this is something you were looking for as too. What these cards are telling me, the mouse and the little brazier, is it almost feels like getting caught up in the little details is a comfort thing to you. You know, some people have a security blanket, some people suck their thumbs, some people smoke cigarettes. You just get caught up in little details. And this is not a time to do that. So I do understand that I'm saying that you should override your internal dialogue, but you should override your internal dialogue. Somebody that you think is not negotiating in good faith actually is. It's just that it's little things, and you're missing the big picture. April, the 4. So you're not looking the next 2 weeks, but when you get into April, when it gets really warm, that is a month of celebration for you. I just see you, you've got the hog here, and it's right next to the safe. So it looks like you are partying like it's 1999 there. So there is going to be a time to spend with friends, a time of celebration. And finally, last but not least, we'll talk about the obstacles around you. And the obstacles seem to be married to the little annoyances, but they also seem to be associated with the man I see here who's negotiating with you. And really question your own motives. Try not to get too caught in your own stubbornness over little details. Okay, there's a saying that don't sweat the small stuff. There's 2 rules. Rule 1, don't sweat the small stuff, and Rule 2, it's all small stuff. Good for you to keep in mind for the next 28 days. And also, again, once April comes around, take a time to have some fun.
That's right, folks. Not only does the Queen answer your questions, she also hands out poetry homework. Ivory would like the reading for the week.
Okay,
and Wicked Fairy apparently stuck with his old ox instead of a fairy bull. He lurks and is sulky and doesn't really express his feelings. Well,
yeah, those are the best kind to draw out.
So, you're in a bullfight. It's a Taurus. You're in a bullfight. Wear red. Dance around. Get him to chase you. Tire him out. That's what they do in bullfights. Anyhow, back to Ivory.
And what would you like to know, Ivory?
She would like a reading for the week.
Okay. So, I just wanted to make sure I had these good shuffled. Oh, goodness. So the week doesn't start off on the best of notes. It feels like it starts off you're dealing with politics as usual, because you've got the cat, but the cat is you, because it just is, because you have the cat and that feels like you, and you've got the fox and that feels like a coworker that just likes to get under your skin. And there's a reminder that in the beginning of the week, that coworker might just get under your skin. But there's also the kitty cat's telling me that you shouldn't let yourself be distracted like that. So there's other things happening. Once you hit midweek, though, you notice the cards go from black to red. That's good. That's good. So a week that starts out with annoyances and that same person getting under your skin gives way to a lucky turn of events on Wednesday. I like to see that. You've got the clover, and then it's followed by the lightning bolt. So whatever the lucky thing is, it starts out on Wednesday. So Wednesday's a good day, but Thursday's an even better day, and Friday and the weekend are really good. So you've got some good news coming down the pipeline at the end of the week. Sorry it starts out on such a negative note, but I think this person is somebody you're used to being annoyed by this person. Okay, so thank you for tuning in. Lovely.
I already sleep in tomorrow. That makes the rest of it a little easier. It's like, yeah, I got an extra 15 minutes or hour and a half, as the case may be. All right. Who's next? Lovely Green. How does Capricorn feel about me? Well, he's running away up the mountain, going forward.
Don't pay attention to him.
Capricorns don't know how to return back. There's no going backwards down the mountain.
Well, they are rams. And rams can get rambunctious. Ha ha! Sorry, bad joke. Okay, Capricorn.
Capricorn for Lovety Green.
Oh, she's getting excited now. So, Capricorn, you got to give him some time. He is dealing with some personal issues. I think that you have the coffin here, so you've got the swords, which is kind of blocked right there. It's kind of a duel. And then you've got the coffin. So it tells me that right now he's focused in on a death issue. And you sound quite alive to me, so I'm sure it's not you. But here you get that lightning bolt, and we do like to see the lightning bolt. Saying when you do get his attention, you've got a ring and you've got sun here, and 2 aces. So it's not going good right now, but give it a 3. Tells me about 3 months. And it turns around to where it's a relationship that has potential for a ring and something very long-term and grounded and passionate. So there is still definitely, there's definitely potential there. Thank you.
All right. Simply Me has a question about a third party. Simply Me, we don't do that here. You have a question about yourself, that's fine, but if your sister wants to get divorced, that's up to her. None of your business. A pervert wants a reading. Do you see marriage for me and Yogesh? He recently introduced me to his family.
That's promising.
Indeed.
Indeed. Well, congratulations.
How old school.
Yeah, but it's the right way to do things, because marriage is based on community. And that's bringing together family and friends. Okay. So it's Yumish?
Apurva.
Apurva. Okay, so.
Apologies if I'm butchering that.
Huh. So. Yeah, this is going ahead as it should. He, when I look at this one right here, this, the horseman, there's always kind of a sense of pride and self-satisfaction there. So it says that he's proud of you. He's proud of you, and he's proud to bring you home to his family. And it's kind of like he's doing this by the book. He's doing this by the book. That he takes you home and introduces you to his father. He kind of has to. I think that his father has something else in mind for him, or somebody else in mind for him, because there just seems to be a little bit of tension there. But this one right here tells me that if it comes right down to it, he will defy his father and stay with you. I just want to throw a few more cards just as confirmation. Yeah. The key. Yeah, he'll negotiate with his dad and everything else, but you're the one, you're the key, and so I would look for marriage to come your way, with a proposal of some sort to come your way within a 7. So that's before Christmas.
All right. Well, that was for Parva. Let's see who's next. Anna Victoria. Will Tino contact me soon?
Okay, and I'm just making sure that these are mixed up. Tino?
Yes, and Anna wants to know whether Tino will get a hold of her. Yes, Tino. That's Tino, not Tina.
Yeah. He sure does like making you wait. See, there's two cards that bother me in this one. And you've got the coffin. And that one bothers me because that tells me that there's situations in his life that he's not talking to you about and you might not know about. But there's something that you don't know about that's acting as a blockade there. And also you have the fox. So I worry about Tino's sincerity. Just because there's this around him. The coffin and the fox around him. So I worry about him being sincere enough, and I worry about him being open enough. Having said that, when we look at the bottom one, even though you have annoyance here, you also, the tower talks about stability. It's not like the tower in the tarot card. In the Lenormand, it actually talks about institutions and things that are big and well grounded. And you have the star. So it tells me that there is still hope in this relationship, but Tino has got to grow up a little bit because he's got some things that he's not addressing, that he's not saying that he should be. He needs to grow up a little bit. Okay. That's what I see about that.
Hey. Well, let's see who that was. Okay, who we got next here? Rohan.
Hi, Rohan.
Rohan is not feeling good.
I'm sorry.
A little down, a little depressed. Life's giving him a hard time.
Oh, gee.
He didn't ask a specific question just for help, so how about just a general reading?
Yeah. And I'm going to pull out the tarot cards again.
Oh, wonderful.
Because they're my old friends, and they usually give you good advice. And we're going to do a northeast, southwest. So we're just going to look at the elements for you. North, east, south, interesting, and west. Okay, so I say this interesting because when I look at the emotional part of you, the love part of you, and the fire, the passion part of you, these guys, this part of you, has got really, really positive cards. So I know that right now you're feeling like the Emperor. The Emperor is a failed leader. The Emperor is somebody who thought he was stable, but because he's reversed, it seems like a lot of things have fallen apart. And that's in your north. That's in your grounding. That's what's kind of where you're rooting yourself right now, is in a sense of loss, and the things that you have lost. And also, you've got the Ten of Wands, but it's the Ten of Wands reversed. And here's a little bit of advice, because it feels like not only are you feeling like you're not achieving what you want in this life, you've got a lot of little tasks and a lot of little chores and a lot of little responsibilities that aren't really your responsibilities, because I feel like you're carrying too much weight for other people and it's dragging you down. Because what this card's saying is that you need to let go of some of your responsibilities. So when the tarot tells me that you need to let go of it, it's because it's not your responsibilities. So you need to stop carrying other people's weight. You have to stop carrying other people's worries. and you have to stop doing other people's jobs. It's keeping you from seeing the path ahead. It's keeping you from seeing what's on the horizon. So don't let people weigh you down. And don't worry about past failures are in the past. You've got to live life going forward, because if you pick up your head and you quit doing everything for everybody, just quit it. Just learn to say the word no. Because for you individually, the world is at your fingertips. So you are actually in a position where you can achieve a lot for yourself. Quit doing for others. I know that sounds like I'm telling you to be selfish, but we all have to be a little, we all have to take care of ourselves first, because nobody else is going to take care of us. And it's kind of like you're sacrificing way too much for people who give way too little to you. And I think that's what's dragging you down and what's keeping you down. Because when I see the world and the fool, that tells me that you have everything at your fingertips to achieve what you want to achieve. You have all four elements here in the world. So you can embrace what's right ahead of you. And you also have the fool, and the fool is somebody who is optimistic. The fool is such an optimistic card that I have a quarter sleeve tattoo. One tattoo. I have one tattoo, and it's based on this card because it's so positive. And it says that no matter how empty and barren the road ahead is, still be light of heart, because opportunity is right around the corner. As long as you believe opportunity is there, it's there. And you have got, these are very negative cards. These are cards that talk about, past failures. These are cards about being weighed down. And you don't have to stay in that position. I would say let go of all this shit that people are making you do, pardon my French, but that's what that is. And look ahead, because for you, once you are unencumbered by other people's responsibilities and other people's duties, you are free to embrace the opportunities that lay right in front of you. And with the Fool, it also tells me that you can make your own opportunities. So say no to everybody, be optimistic about the future, and start doing for yourself and creating opportunities for yourself, because that's out there.
Perfect. Well, folks, we're definitely going to be going overtime today because there's still a lot of questions from what I see. Next, we have Sweet Baby Girl.
Oh, sweet baby girl.
She wants an engagement ring before Christmas. Is he going to commit?
Women pay way too much for the engagement ring.
I thought the men paid for the engagement ring.
The men pay for the engagement ring up front, and then we spend the rest of our lives paying for it.
Uh-huh. So it's all a transactional thing.
Yeah. That's why we didn't get a diamond. Just 2 bands of gold.
And we made the engraver work for it.
We did. We came up with some symbols he had to do by hand. But he did a beautiful job.
He did a great job.
He did. Okay, so now what was the question?
Sweet Baby Girl wants an engagement ring.
Oh, yeah, that's how it
before
started.
Christmas.
Oh, do not put a time limit on this, sweet baby girl.
Well, it's kind of silly if you want to get married. There shouldn't be a time limit on that anyway. I mean, at least in my head.
We were together 19 years before we got married.
Could have sworn it was 18.
18?
See, we don't even know. We were together so long. Okay, so let's see, where do I start? Okay, first off, we've got
the 9 here. You've got the Hermit, and the little lantern. So you potentially, between these two cards, you've got the Hermit, which is a 9, and it's a big fate card. So if you don't screw things up, you'll get one in September. And I get that from the 9 and the Hermit, and plus that, you've got 6 of Cups positively aspected. And 6 of Cups is about love. And you've got the little boy offering the flower to the little girl. So yeah, I see him proposing to you. I'm not sure he'll get on one knee. He might give it to you standing up, but that's okay. The one thing, and this is why I say, if you don't screw it up, is because one thing that works against you is the thing that you're showing right now, and that's lack of confidence. In the Strength card, the reason she's strong isn't because she has magical powers or anything. She just has enough confidence that she can walk up to a wild lion and put her hand in his mouth and know it won't bite her. And it doesn't, because she has confidence. But it's reversed, so it's telling me that you're being insecure. And if you are insecure, you will screw all this up. So be happy, be confident, and just enjoy the summer. Be fun. It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be light. It's supposed to be happy. Don't worry so much about the engagement ring. It'll come in November, but don't be insecure about it, or you're going to screw the whole thing up, because that's the one thing that works against you is insecurity. Okay, so thank you for asking, baby girl.
Well, you heard that, sweet baby girl. Don't screw it up. Amanda's sister is too shy to ask a question.
Oh, Amanda's sister. I just got done talking about confidence. Oh, my goodness.
Anyhow, Amanda's sister is wanting to know about work.
Well, Amanda's sister. Gee.
Shyness and work don't go well together.
Okay, so let's see. Amanda's sister and work. Amanda's sister and work. Amanda's shy sister and work. You hear that little tinkle off to the side? That's Felix.
With his new toy.
With his new toy. Okay. So, for your sister and work, there's a situation here. There's a situation here that she shouldn't be putting up with. And I worry about that. I don't know whether you've got a handsy boss or just a boss that gives you a paycheck like it was a gift, but there's some sort of a semi-abusive situation there, and I don't like to see that. Whenever I see the devil, I always think you have to confront the devil, right? But positively aspected, this is a big work card. You've got 3 of Pentacles, and the 3 of Pentacles talks about a job well done. A 3 of Pentacles talks about planning, and I think that planning is a good thing for you to do right now. I want your shy sister to get away from this crappy situation at work, because she does a good job, and that is seen by others. She is just at the right point to make plans to move to a better company and a better situation. And that's exactly what she should be doing. Okay. Thank you for watching, Amanda's shy sister. It's really nice seeing you, and I hope that next week you won't be so shy and you'll ask your question on your own, and I'll happily answer it.
Virgo Queen wants to know about a house with her and Ivan. When, and is it going to be 2 stories? 2 stories. Yeah. 2 stories plus a basement apartment and an attic for the squirrels. We have squirrels in the attic, and yesterday they were in the wall.
Oy.
We're tenants, so, whatever.
Squirrels aren't my favorite. I don't mean to sound mean. I know that they're cute and everything, but I just...
They're rodents.
Yeah.
They're furry rodents.
They chew.
If you shaved them, you'd have a rat.
Oh, okay. We're hurting squirrels' feelings. Sorry, squirrels. So
Okay,
we're looking at
Carrie.
Virgo Queen in the house. Okay. So, just a second. Let me just cool myself off there. Okay, so Virgo
Buy
Queen.
ceiling fans.
Yeah. Virgo Queen in the house. All right. You sure are impatient. You're not going to get everything you want in a house. That middle three, you were talking about 2 stories. You might get one of those kind of split level kind of homes, because that would be like 1, 2, 3. You know how they got 2 stories here and then a third off to that side, because it's saying 3 right there. Positively aspected, you have the 5 of Swords, but it's 5 of Swords reversed, and there's kind of I see when I look at that, what I see, because it's positive for you, but it's negative for somebody else. So I think you guys are going to find a distressed property. I think I've seen that before. That you're going to get a distressed property, maybe an auction or something along those lines. Yeah, because Ivan likes to do things smart, and real estate auctions is a smart way to go in whatever market it is you're looking at. Having said that, he's not going to delay too much. You know, it's within months as opposed to being within years. Okay.
Just remind him that they've made hammers. He doesn't need to use his fists anymore. Suzanne wants to know about the little piggy card. I get the feeling she's talking about the Lenormand deck.
Oh yeah, and the Lenormand deck. What'd you get? Oh yeah. That was the one that had the 4 of diamonds. That was the one where I said in April you should celebrate a little bit. You know, because that's what the pig talks about, celebrations. You know. Go and be a little bit of a pig, have a little bit of beer, a little bit of potato chips, a little bit of sweets, you know, be a pig. But I'm just going to put down 3 more cards just to say, okay, let's just clarify the pig. Okay. Well, I think that was pretty clear, but I love using the Lenormand. Okay. And just a quickie. Yeah, you've got the boxer and the dog, and you know, when I see dogs, I like dogs, and I think about, you know, playing and then being around loyal friends, you know, people that'll stick beside you. And you also have ring, a circle, so it's kind of like enjoy your circle of friends. And this is funny because this is another 4, and the pig was a 4, and the one next to it was a 4. This one right here is a shattered mirror. So I think it's saying enjoy the time you have with your circle of friends and spend as much time celebrating with them as you can before they start drifting apart. Because it feels like something's going to happen to kind of make your circle of friends drift apart a little bit. Okay, so that's what that means.
Wicked Fairy is still on about her stubborn bull. If it's a stubborn bull, just grab him by the horns.
Oh, Wicked Fairy, call him up and ask him to meet you for a cup of coffee. You know, not quite a date, but almost a date. Okay, and quit putting up posts on Facebook because he doesn't like it. Tauruses just don't get those kind of hinting around games. You need to be blunt with them.
There's a reason that it's called grab him by the horns. Right?
Yeah.
Grab him by the horns. If he doesn't squeal, kick him harder. Anyhow, where was I?
He could be rude, but he's He's right every now and then too.
Kay wants to reconcile with the Aquarius in her life.
Oh!
Hang on. Boo! 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 Your ex is for a reason.
Yeah, absolutely. It very rarely works out. You know, maybe sometimes there's kids involved, but even if there's kids involved, it's kind of like, I always use the analogy of an old shoe. You know, you if you have a shoe that pinches your feet, you can put it in the back of a closet for six weeks. But when you pull that out and put it back on your feet, it's still going to pinch your feet. Now I'll throw some cards for him, and I'll try and put my own feelings about that reconciliation thing. But generally speaking, when you reconcile with a guy, you end up with a guy who thinks you'll never break up with him, and he can do anything. That's why it doesn't work. Okay, and the all-seeing eye came out, so it's kind of like open your eyes. You know, and it's a 4 talks about foundation, so it talks about open your eyes and get yourself grounded. You know, and ask yourself, why do I want to reconcile with this person? For reals. But we'll throw 3 more cards just to make sure. So you have him right here, and he shows up as the King of Diamonds, which is, the diamonds can be a fiery king, and I think that he's fiery, and I think his emotions tossed around a bit. So that might have been some of the reason why you broke up in the first place. In the middle you have Park. So you have, you know, what I'm getting is that in the short run, in the short term, you could probably have, you know, a nicer home and a nicer life, but very short-lived, 10 weeks tops. And then you end up in an even worse place. That cross is one of those cards that don't bode well, and it's one of those cards that say you should move on beyond the current situation. Okay, so I just don't feel like that's a good thing. You know, whatever joy you get out of it will not make up for what you get on the other side.
Okay, Kay.
I'm sorry, I couldn't be more positive than that.
Well, that happens with reconciliations.
Yeah.
Like you said, you know, unless there's children involved or something along those lines.
And even if there's children involved, don't torture the children with you know, trying to rejuvenate your relationship. Yeah. Make a pact between the two of you to be good parents. You know.
Anyhow, moving on. Pet Fulana, what are R's current feelings and thoughts towards me?
Aww.
He loves me. He loves me not. He loves me. He loves me not.
I'm going to grab the...
I'm out of batteries.
That's 2. This is a family show. Well, sort of. Okay, so. Let's see what the runes have to say about your crush, darling. Okay. So, crush. Now, what was the question again?
Current feelings and thoughts.
Feelings, yeah.
Yes, R.
R. But R is Rytho, and Rytho is cart. And, you know, it's got the wheel, so it talks about moving forward. So he is thinking about moving forward with the relationship, because there's good cards here. You know, this is somebody who sees potential, long-term potential in the relationship. You know, and he thinks that the two of you are, you know, are well suited for each other. He actually appreciates he's a strong, stubborn person, but he appreciates your traits too, because you're stubborn in your own way. You might be a bit of a queen yourself. Okay, so when I look ahead, he does think, his feelings towards you, he does want the relationship to move forward. He does see potential. He thinks that the two of you are on the same page. And you have Thagos here, which is change. So look for things to change over the summer. Yeah, he's still dealing with, I think the reason he hasn't moved forward is because he's still dealing with feelings from the past. Either that or he's worried about you having feelings from the past. But not to worry. This will all work itself out. Because here, like you had this one that was all the way over here, and this one talks about past coming, things in the past influencing the present. But then you come over here and you have Iwas, which says you will find everything you're looking for. And that applies to both of you. So what we have here is like this little rainbow, because there's a change coming up, and it's not coming up tomorrow. It's coming up more maybe over the summer or into the fall, because it seems like you guys have to wait a while. It's almost like both of you want the other, each one wants the other one to make the first move. There's passion. There's fire and ice. Okay, so that at least gives me a time there. You might have to wait until it gets cold again. When it moves forward fast. I don't know why the delays and stalls are. It's just that there's that fear there. I think you could probably rush it along, move it along a little bit just by engaging him. Just by talking to him and working on getting a friendship going there. Humor is important, and humor is good for building relationships. And I think you should have a lighthearted talk with him where you both smile and laugh. That will work as far as bringing you guys together as a couple, because you should be together as a couple. Okay. All right.
That almost wraps us up. Before we go, we have definitely gone overtime today. Let me tell you about a special event we got going on, or a special event. I'm Austrian. I have trouble with my V's and my W's. See, I heard it too just now. Yeah, it's terrible. It's terrible. Anyhow, October 29th and October 30th at the Queen's Inn Hotel in Stratford, Ontario. We have a special 2-day event, Ghosts of the Queen's Inn, with Psychic Sally Diane and the Haunting live crew from OGPS Filming, Chris and Trevor. And we also have a special guest. Unfortunately, I forgot her name.
Mary Ann Kennedy from the Ghost of Dufferin County and Beyond. And that's her Rogers Cable show. She's wonderful medium. She's going to be speaking on Friday night. And she's also going to be giving a workshop on mediumship on Saturday, October 30th. Friday night we will have dinner. Dinner is included in your package. The speeches by your queen. I will be talking about the ghosts of the queens, and the Haunting Live crew will be talking about their experiences as a paranormal investigator. Mary Ann Kennedy will be talking about her experiences as a medium. And then on Friday night, we're going to put on our jammies and have a pajama party and give everybody little mini readings. So that was lots of fun last time. So we're looking forward to doing it again. The workshop's on Saturday, and then we're going to have a walkthrough of some of the more haunted rooms in the Queen's Inn, and we're going to wind it up on Saturday with a seance with chaired by yours truly, and moderated by my producer. Should be a lot of fun. It's $140, and that does include continental breakfasts on Saturday and Sunday morning. It also includes your dinner on Friday night. It does not include your accommodations, but the Queen's Inn does have a block of rooms set aside, and most of the rooms will accommodate 2, 3, and up to 4 people. So you can save money by sharing a room with a friend. To buy your purchase your tickets, go to the Haunting Live podcast website, or send an email to the Queen of Ooga Booga at gmail.com. And I have a couple more announcements. I know we're going long, but I wanted to tell everybody about some workshops I have coming up. In May, I have a palmistry workshop coming up, and that goes from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. on the second Saturday in May. That is $85, and it does include your lunch. There's also going to be from 8 to 9, there's going to be a little bit of a meet and greet, coffee and sweets and that, if you want to sit around a little bit ahead of time and just chat. Also, I have a class coming up in June, and in June, on the second Saturday in June, I will be teaching a class on the runes, and that starts at 9 o'clock, ends at 5, includes your lunch. It's $145. It also includes a set of runes and a guidebook. The runes are handmade by the Queen of Ooga Booga out of very special clay impregnated with kyanite, so it always has that kyanite energy cleansing and keeping negativity away from the runes. Should be a lot of fun. In order to sign up for either one of the classes, send me an email at thequeenofoogaBooga@gmail.com. Okay, so we've gone long. It's been a good show.
Gone long, definitely. I want to get back to the Ghost of the Queen's Inn, because we were at the hotel yesterday and we filmed a promo for it, or a preview, if you will. And Sally and I, we filmed with 2 cameras. The Facebook video went live to Facebook from their mobile app. It is out of sync. It's going through the Facebook app. There should not be any sync issues whatsoever at all. The other recording was a camcorder. The audio on that, although it's in sync, has a lot of background noise that was not anywhere in that room whatsoever. So in true haunted hotel fashion, 2 audio recordings messed up.
That happens.
So, anyhow, it's time to say goodnight. Farewell. Auf Wiedersehen. Goodbye.
And we'll see you next week. Make sure that you share. Tell all your friends about me. And we'll see you next Sunday night at 9 o'clock for Psychic Sundays Live with the Queen of Ooga Booga and our handsome producer.
Have a good night and a good week. Be well. Be safe. Cheers.